this video we're going to be fitting lowering springs. Now these are 40mm lowering springs, so we should look a little bit better on the car, but yeah, I want to show you how to do it now. Okay, so let's start by jacking up the car. Usual stuff, always safety first. Jack it up somewhere decent. Now remember to place these axle stands just somewhere solid. I'm putting it on the sill, the jacking point. Then after that we remove the nuts. Now you don't want to put that jacking point on the rear axle because that's going to be moving, so jacking point is better this time. Now as always, we always slide the wheel under the car just in case, just back up. Now this is the top of the shock absorber. You should have seen it in my other video. You release them two nuts and that lets go of the shock absorber. Now on other cars it might be slightly different, but this one is really easy because it is a V-dub. Now once you've released the two nuts, it happens really suddenly. There you go, that's how easy that was. That was the naughty way to do it. That was the naughty and nasty way to do it. I really should have done it like I done last time, but do you know what? It kind of works. Let's get it back on. Okay, so now you've got your old shocks and your rear shocks. This is the part where you can pair them up together to make sure you've actually got the right things. Now you've got the rubber top mount which you're going to need. Take that off, inspect it, make sure there's no splits, it's not broke or anything. And then fit it on so it make sure it fits properly. So do you see me lining it up to the top of the actual mount itself? Do the same thing with the other side and make sure everything is as it's supposed to be. It's not difficult, you know, but it's just due diligence, and that's pretty much it. The rear shock absorbers are really easy. Now line it up in the bottom of the axle itself there, as you see I'm doing, and just kind of line it up with the nib that it's actually got going at the top. Do the same thing both sides. But this is the way I do it. You can do it however you want to do it, but this is the way I did it. Gave me plenty of space and it allowed me to maneuver in. Now once you've got it where you want to get it, you just slowly jack it up until you're happy. So make sure everything's all lining up. Just take your time and guide it. If you've got to do it 2, 3, 4 times, do it 2, 3, 4 times. But once you've got it there, you should be okay. Have a good look and make sure it's all sitting down how it's meant to be, and in, you know, located as it's supposed to be. It's the suspension part, very important. Safety first here. See what I'm looking at? It's all sitting where it's meant to be. So once we're happy, everything's lined up as it's supposed to be. It's just about doing the reverse of taking it off really. So with the little bit of support from the jack so it's not moving, just tighten up the bolts. Do one side at a time. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Now the driver's side, UK version, you might need to take off this plastic molding, the plastic wheel guard, so you can actually gain access to the bolt that's slightly hidden behind it. Be careful because I lost a bolt here. Once that's done, you put the back wheel on. And that's it really. Pretty simple stuff. The back is a breeze if I'm being honest. It's really easy. You could do that in about 15-20 minutes. You know, that's from start to finish. So put it all back together, make sure you tighten up everything to torque specifications, and everything is safe. Okay, so it's onto the front once again, same as before, jacking point, and lift the car up. You're going to need axle stands. You always need axle stands. If you had 4, you could probably do it all at once, but we're doing it like this because we've only got 2. Now you can put this anywhere, it's pretty safe, under there, the subframe, anywhere under there is good enough for you to leave the car under the axle stands. Now buzz the wheel off, make sure you got your locking wheel nuts. If you ain't got your locking wheel nuts, you ain't doing none of this. And just once again throw the wheel underneath the car. Always safety first, you never know what could happen. Now I used a long bar to get the nut off the actual hub itself. Use WD-40, that will help you out. These can be tough and virtually seal themselves in there, you know. So just take your time, be patient and work with it. Try not to round off any sockets, but I would say use WD-40. Once you've done that, you might have to knock it out. You can actually see how dry it is in there. But it's not threaded, my point is you can just actually knock it out afterwards. You should have seen this in my other video, the removing the shock absorber. Then it's just about knocking it side to side on the hub itself. You can help yourself out because there's a split in the actual back of it which you can open up. You could have a wedge screwdriver in there or some sort of bolt in there. This is work. Just got to keep knocking it down. It's also important to remember just to be persistent and consistent with this because it will come. So even if it's fighting you, just continue trying with it. As you can see, it's done there and it's all wobbling. Okay, so now there's two ways you can remove the top of the shock absorber. You can either use a 21mm swan neck like this one. You can see it's got a bit of a drop down there. And an 8mm Allen key. Or you can use one of these, which is much easier. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is to compress the spring compressor clamp here with some spring compressors, and then we're going to have to remove that nut. See that? And then we can change our springs over. Easy. Okay, now with your spring compressor clamps, just open up as wide as you can and clamp them onto the springs. Now do them opposite sides of each other, and if you've got an impact gun like mine, use it. If you haven't, you can just do it by hand. Unfortunately it runs out, which you'll see later, but that's okay. Now use the same socket to take off the top mount. Remember that all of this went in, as you can see I'm doing here. Inspect the top mount, make sure it's not broken. Have a look at it, just take your time, look for anything that doesn't look right. Take the bearing off, that's the bearing that it sits on. I'm just showing the order it goes in. And the suspension kind of clamp. Please don't attempt this without these spring clamps because it can be really dangerous and you don't want to hurt yourself, you don't want to hurt no one else. So now with your new lowering springs, just fit it up against it, make sure it's sitting where it needs to sit because there's a little ledge in the actual seat of that shock absorber which makes it sit there. Once you've done that, get your clamps on and start to squeeze them down. Try to get them as big a space as possible because you really want to get this down so the shot can go through it. Even though they're 40mm lower, you still want to have it compressed as much as possible so there's least pressure. As you can see, I'm doing it here with the hand tools. This does make it a lot more graft, but it's still very doable. Okay, so now once you've got them nice and compressed, put your bits on in the way that they came off. Now the shock absorber might drop a little bit, so just remember to keep pulling it up so it doesn't disappear below that level and it gives you something you can still grab on. Now remember which way this went in, as I showed you before, and put all the pieces back on the way that they came off because this is your suspension. You don't want nothing going wrong with this when you're on the motorway, so just make sure everything's alright. Now do as much as you can by hand, that's my motto because you can't cross thread it and you can't break anything that way. And then once you've got it to a place where you can't actually do no more, get your ratchet gun and just tie it up, or your spanner or whatever it is you're going to use. Okay, then release your clamps and make sure everything is okay and as it should be. Just inspect it, just take your time and inspect it. Yeah, make sure everything's holding on and everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Once again, this is just a removal of taking it off, put it back in its location and use the jack just to give you a little bit of upward pressure. Now, all I'm doing is just knocking the actual hub itself. I'm just tapping the hub, just giving that little bit of movement to get in. Now, once again, this is a very slow, gradual process. You will get there, just be consistent and persistent and it will go in. Okay, remember to tighten up all your bolts to torque specification. Just make sure it's all done properly and there's a little kind of tab in there that has to go in between the slit. Make sure that's all done and tighten this up properly. That's it. Reverse of the taking off really. Once you've done that, put your wheel back on. That usual stuff. Tighten it up properly. Make sure it's on the floor when you tighten it. And torque specifications once again, just to make sure everything's okay, because safety first, and do the same thing on the other side. You can see that I've already put that one on. There's no point showing you the same video twice. As you can see, it's dropped and looks a lot better than it did before. But let me show you what it looked like before. this was this kind of stance from before, and that's how it looks now. In my opinion, I think it looks much better, and yeah, more of a better ride. I'm happy. There he is. B-Max, smile. Smile at the camera. There you are. You're just about to see my teeth. Cool. So this is the first time I've driven this car since I've changed the springs. Now I've been told I need time to settle in. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. But I want to tell you what I think of them. To be honest, I don't think they're that bad, if I'm being honest. I don't think they're that bad. They're alright. They're not, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to remember you're paying £50 for them. You're paying £50 for this, for the springs, for the lowering springs, and you're still using your own shocks. So, I mean, in all honesty, no, they're not really not that bad. I can't really complain. Not for the amount of money that I paid for them. Not at all, and they give the car a nice, good, low look. So, yeah, I think this is pretty good. I'd recommend it if you're on a low budget and you want your car to look a little bit nicer. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's for performance. It's way too spongy for performance. But in terms of just being aesthetically pleasing, the car looks nice lowered, and doesn't really drive too bad. I mean, obviously you feel a bit more than stock, because the stockers, they spend thousands and millions to try and get their research right to work out what works best, but it's okay. I wouldn't complain too much. So that's my verdict on the subject. Get them if you want to look good. Don't get them if you want them for performance. And yeah, that's it. Hope that helps anyone who's going to buy them before they buy them. So rate, subscribe, and add and Facebook. Add me to your Facebook. Become a Facebook friend. I saw loads of parts on there. I'm going to start trying to give giveaways and stuff, and try and help people out generally. So make sure you add me to Facebook. Okay. Thank you for watching. Speak soon.